Kyle Larson won his first career race with Hendrick Motorsports on Sunday, becoming the quickest driver to ever win in Hendrick Motorsports equipment. It was his fourth start in Hendrick Motorsports equipment, and that beats out guys who have raced for that team, legends, Hall of Famers, all-time greats like Jimmie Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, Mark Martin. I mean, the list goes on of how quick he won compared to other Hendrick Motorsports drivers. So we're going to talk about today, how good can he be? Looking not just at this year, but towards the future, how good can he be at Hendrick Motorsports? How good is this pairing? How good are him and his crew chief, Cliff Daniels, going to be together? We're just going to look at some things and talk about how good I think Kyle Larson can be in the future with Hendrick Motorsports. We all know Kyle Larson is an extremely talented driver. He tears it up on the dirt. He won, I think I read somewhere that he won 46 of the 97 dirt races he ran last year. That's insane. I mean, seriously, he almost had a 50% winning percentage in a car. That is so difficult to do. You don't see that much. It's insane. But take that aside and you look at his Cup career, and it's still pretty impressive. He doesn't have a ton of wins like he has in dirt. That's obviously very difficult to do, but he doesn't have a ton of wins. He doesn't have a championship. He hasn't made it to championship 4, but you got to look at where he was. Chip Ganassi Racing, I'm sure they're a great organization. I'm sure they work their butts off over there. But the fact is that they don't have the equipment and the speed of Joe Gibbs Racing, Stewart-Haas Racing, even Hendrick Motorsports, these top teams in NASCAR. All these teams that are consistently competing and winning championships. Hendrick Motorsports won the title last year and in 2016. Joe Gibbs Racing won it in 2019. Penske 2017 or 2018, I'm sorry. And a Gibbs affiliate team won it in 2017. And then, Stewart-Haas back in 2014. So all these teams, they have won championships in the past 7 or 8 years, but Ganassi has never been a part of that. They have not won a championship in the NASCAR Cup Series, and they have yet to make it to a championship 4 race. But Larson, in the equipment he was given, he did more than what I think a normal Chip Ganassi driver would be able to do. Larson arrived at Chip Ganassi Racing in 2014 for his rookie season. His rookie season he won Rookie of the Year, I believe. It was a pretty impressive Rookie of the Year. One of his most memorable moments was at Chicagoland, having a hard-fought fight for second place with Jeff Gordon. And after the race, Jeff Gordon got out of the car, went and talked to him, just said he had a bunch of fun, and then he was like, hey, you're going to be good one day, something like that. They had a conversation after that race. They looked at that. It was a big deal in the media, and people were talking about it. And he didn't win that year, as I said. And then going on to the sophomore year, the second year, he didn't do as good. He finished 2 spots lower in the points. He finished 19th in his second year versus 17th in his rookie year. But he did lead more laps that year, but everything else was down. Top 10s, top 5s, everything was down. But 2016, he got his first career win. In 2016, he won at Michigan for his first career win, his first ever playoff appearance. And looking at Chip Ganassi Racing outside of that, or actually, no, we'll get into that after the 2016 season. But after that, he went on a tear on that type of racetrack. He won the 2 next Michigan races, so he had 3 Michigan wins in a row. He won Auto Club in 2017, so that 2-mile D-shaped oval, he had it. He knew what to do there, and he was winning. And then he won at Richmond in 2017. He won at Dover in 2019. So he knows how to win on different types of racetracks, and that's not even including some of the races that he didn't win that he dominated. He's had dominant performances at Darlington, at Homestead, some of these different types of tracks where you can run up on the wall and all that stuff. He's had great runs at. Even short tracks like Bristol. Bristol, he's had some great runs at. He's led some laps at. So Larson, he's run really well at some of these tracks, but he hasn't quite gotten it done. Can he do it in Hendrick Motorsports equipment? Another point I want to make when talking about the Chip Ganassi thing is outside of Larson, look at Chip Ganassi's success since Larson arrived, even before that, 2013, 2012, around there. They didn't have many wins outside of Larson. Jamie McMurray won at Talladega in 2013. McMurray won the All-Star race in 2014, but had no points-paying wins. McMurray was winless for the rest of his career after that. And then even the current driver of the one car, Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch does have wins. Kurt Busch is a Cup champion. I respect the heck out of him. He's an incredible driver, but he got one win at Las Vegas last year, one win at Kentucky in 2019. So Chip Ganassi, prior to and even after and during the Kyle Larson era for Chip Ganassi, they haven't quite had anything like he's been able to do. They haven't dominated races like Larson has at tracks like Homestead and Darlington when they've led a ton of laps. They've won stages. And then they haven't won a bunch of races like Larson did back in that 2017 season, or like he did that 2-year stretch over the Michigan and Auto Club. So they really haven't seen that kind of dominance, and I think that shows something. I think it's like, hey, Larson is really good. We already knew that, but just kind of looking at it from a perspective, it's like, man, this guy's really good. And, let's put him, what happens if we put him in a top-tier car? What happens if we put him in a Hendrick Motorsports car? Hendrick Motorsports has been down the past few years. That is not a question. Ever since 2015, I want to say, they've been down. 2014, all 4 drivers won. Gordon had 4 wins. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had 4 wins. Jimmy Johnson had 4 wins. Kasey Kahne had a win. 2015, Jeff Gordon got 1 win. Jimmy Johnson had 5 or 6 wins. I think Dale Jr. had 3 wins. But then after that, even Jimmy Johnson's 2016 championship year, they were down as an organization as a whole. Jimmy Johnson had 6 or 7 wins in 2016, I want to say, and won the championship, but the rest of the team was winless. 2017, Jimmy Johnson had 3 wins. The rest of the team was winless. 2018, Chase Elliott won 3 races. The rest of the team was winless. Actually, back to 2017, Kasey Kahne did win the Brickyard 400. I corrected myself on that. There you go. Sorry, Kasey Kahne fans. But then after 2019, they took a big step up. After the 2019 season, in which they only saw 4 wins between Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman, we saw 3 different drivers in the organization win in 2020, and Hendrick Motorsports won the championship with Chase Elliott. Elliott had 5 wins. William Byron got his first career win, and Alex Bowman got his second career win in dominating fashion at Auto Club. So Hendrick, during that kind of transition period where they had the older, veteran, legendary drivers like Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson, like Jeff Gordon stepped away in 2015. Dale Jr. retired in 2017, and Kasey Kahne left in 2017 as well. Jimmy Johnson retired after the 2020 season. So after seeing the shift between the older guys at Hendrick Motorsports step away or retire or leave the team, we saw a kind of a youth movement at Hendrick Motorsports with Chase Elliott, William Byron, Alex Bowman, and now they brought in one of the most talented drivers, in my opinion, in the Cup garage, Kyle Larson. And Kyle Larson, as I said, looking at that Chip Ganassi record, that's got to be promising. And I think it's one of the reasons that Jeff Gordon and Rick Hendrick took a chance on him. We all know Kyle Larson's story. I've talked about it 1,000 times on this channel. We don't need to explain the whole thing again, but you guys know he used a racial slur. He was fired from Chip Ganassi Racing, and no one knew if he was going to get a Cup career or a Cup ride ever again. And over the offseason, Rick Hendrick hired him to take over the 48 car that would be rebranded to the 5 car. And the 48 car, the past few years since even since the championship season 2016, hasn't been good. Jimmy won 3 races in 2017, but outside of those 3 wins, he was pretty bad that year. 2018, 2019, and 2020, they went winless. And in 2019 and 2020, Jimmy Johnson missed the playoffs. So that team has been down. They've had crew chief swaps from Kevin Mindering to Cliff Daniels. Obviously, Chad Knaus going to William Byron and leaving Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson not being on the top of his game. There were a lot of factors that were just not working for that 48 team, and Johnson finally stepped away from full-time Cup racing to go race at IndyCar part-time, and Rick Hendrick said, all right, let's get the best available guy. It's going to come with some backlash. We're not going to get sponsors at first because, yeah, he's a controversial driver because of what he said. But we're going to take a chance because he's talented and he's going to win races. And Kyle Larson winning races really quick, I think that's a great sign for Hendrick Motorsports, and that's a great sign for Kyle Larson too, because especially at a track that he has not won at yet, not just Las Vegas, but the Mile and a Half. The mile and a half program at Hendrick since the current package has not been great. They have not won a bunch of races like they used to with Jimmy Johnson. They have not dominated races. They have not won a bunch of stages. But they looked really good at the beginning of last year, so I don't want to say they're going to be great the rest of the year, but I think it's possible. But after COVID, they kind of took another step down. They dominated that Auto Club race. They dominated Las Vegas, but Chase Elliott blew a tire, and it ruined his day. They looked really good at those kind of intermediate tracks before COVID, and then they kind of fell off in the summer months, but they came back later on. But Hendrick Motorsports is taking a step in the right direction in terms of performance. They just came off a championship. They've now won races with multiple drivers, and I think this is, for Kyle Larson's Cup career, I think this is great for his on-track performance. He's stepping into, he's already won 4 races in with a new team, with Cliff Daniels, a young crew chief, and just his second full-time year of crew chiefing. I think that's a big deal in my opinion. When you have a crew chief who has not won yet in the Cup Series, and you have a Cup driver as talented as he is, who hasn't raced in this equipment and who hasn't won in this equipment yet, go out and dominate a race like they did at Las Vegas and win like that, I do think that is a little scary if you're the field. Because another thing that kind of scared me, if you're a NASCAR fan or a fan that isn't Hendrick Motorsports, Kyle Larson, in his post-race press availability thing, he said that at Homestead, where they ran top 5 most of the day, he felt they were off a bit. They were off. If they were off a bit, what means they're like tip-top shape doing their best? I mean, seriously, Kyle Larson, at one of his best racetracks historically, said they were off, and he was still running top 5. That's got to be scary if you're the field. And once again, Kyle Larson, if he can continue to run this well at the mile and a halves, and he runs well at the old tracks, or runs well at the tracks he's run well at before, like the pavement Bristol race that we have in September, 2 Darlington races, Kansas he's had some good runs at, Richmond he's won at, Dover he's won at. If he can have good runs at those kinds of tracks and he can win, he may be racking up multiple wins a year. Obviously, it's too early to call for this year, but I think this could turn into something. I really do. Kyle Larson and Hendrick Motorsports, I think, could turn into something, and especially with the teammates that he has, defending Cup champion Chase Elliott, William Byron and Alex Bowman, young guys who have won races, are looking to establish themselves in the Cup Series. I think this is a revamping of Hendrick Motorsports, and I think Kyle Larson could be one of the leaders of that. And, you know, that win at Las Vegas was impressive, and I think there's more to come. I really do think that there's more to come for him in terms of winning. Once again, the mile and a halves, he had never won prior to Sunday at Chip Ganassi, and he's run top 5 in both of them this year. Ran top 5 at Homestead, and then he won at Las Vegas in dominating fashion. We don't go to a mile and a half until Atlanta, which is a track that Larson is good at, but if they can continue this and they run well at other tracks, and not to mention that Hendrick's short track program, even in the down years, that's still been really good for them. Martinsville, Bristol. So if Larson can take advantage of that, it could be scary for the rest of the field. Obviously, we all knew coming in that Larson and Hendrick Motorsports would be potentially would be a force to be reckoned with, and very early on, I think we're kind of seeing signs of that. Larson's already won. He's dominated a race that we didn't expect him to dominate. And I think that's a little scary for the field. And I do think Cliff Daniels is a big part of that. I think he's an underrated crew chief. They had a terrible start to 2019 with Jimmy Johnson, with Kevin Mindering. And once Daniels stepped in, they actually took a couple steps forward. And then last year, at the beginning of the year, they looked really good. But just throughout the year, the whole COVID thing, I think that just messed up their rhythm. But they did have a good few runs at the end there, especially Phoenix, that last race. And for Cliff Daniels to come in and win in his 4th start with Larson, I think that's a huge confidence booster for him too. Now they can gamble in the playoffs. But for the short term, I think that win is big for Larson. I think that means they're going to have a lot of success this year. I think that means they could win multiple races, maybe make a deep playoff run. But as for the long-term future, I do think we're going to have to wait a bit to see how they do this year. I do think they're going to win multiple races this year, but they're going to have to keep it up. They can't just go off celebrating like, woo, we won a race. It's been the first time in 4 years this team's won a race. But they got to focus. They got to keep their heads down. They got to keep focusing on each and every race, try to get as many playoff points as possible. But if they keep winning like that, then I think it'll be scary for the rest of the Cup field to see Hendrick Motorsports back and for Kyle Larson to be leading that. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I just wanted to talk about that today. I thought it was an interesting topic. I've seen tons of people kind of touching on it, debating on social media, YouTube comments, all that stuff, talking about, well, how long can Kyle Larson keep this up? Is he going to be with Hendrick for the rest of his career? And if so, how well can he do? And I think the sky's the limit. I think he can go win multiple races this year. I think he can make a deep playoff run. Championship, that's tough to call right now, but down the road, I could definitely see him winning a Cup championship, especially in Hendrick Motorsports equipment. And if they start to get back to their old form where they're dominating, they're winning double-digit races a year with all 4 drivers, that's going to be scary for the field. So Kyle Larson, I think he's got a bright future ahead of him in terms of racing, obviously. Off the track, I think he's going to be controversial for the rest of his career, for the rest of his life, but it'll be interesting to see how they do. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to this channel. I make new NASCAR content as much as I can. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. If not soon, then I'll see you Sunday for the race at Phoenix.